Hi guys, welcome back to the channel Felix Football Chats. Today we're going to be talking about Brentford 3, Liverpool 3 match reactions. So, well, an excellent game of football today has to be said. It's probably the game of the season so far. But from our point of view, that's not actually a good thing. Missed opportunity today, big missed opportunity. You see both Chelsea and Man United dropping points, losing games, in fact, and then we're playing Brentford and we just knew, I just knew. I think a lot of us would know that we won't go win that game today. It's just say, just Liverpool way, let's do things the difficult way, we can't do things the easy way. But, 3-3, great game of football as I say, but let's break this game down a little bit, shall we? So, Brentford played exceptionally well today, came out of traps and just went for us. They just went for us. And it's refreshing to see promoted teams wanting to play football. I must say that seeing a promoted team wanting to play football is something a lot of other promoted teams should be looking at because not enough of them do it. Sitting behind the ball. Look at Norwich. It's just at Brentford they play football. They're good defensively. They pass the ball back. They're not scared of playing a 10-yard pass in front of their box if they think it's the right way. And you've got to admire that from them. No doubt about it. They played excellent today. But Liverpool's defending, it was a joke. Now, I've seen a lot of people say Van Dijk was useless today and it was his worst performance ever in a Liverpool shirt. Personally, I'm not sure about that. I don't think he did as much wrong as people say. Personally, I think the fullbacks today were our worst defenders. I mean, let's go for Brentford's first goal. Robbo was daydreaming. We had a nice line. He was offside, but Robbo, the only one daydreaming, kept him onside. Otherwise, that's not a goal. They purposely targeted Trent's area of the pitch, and that's not the first time. Now, I've always been to say that I know Trent's not a great defender, but he will win us more points with his attacking ability than he will lose us points for his defensive ability. But today's one of them games where his defensive ability came out and cost us points, unfortunately. It's not his own fault though. It's not all his own fault. The difference is on Trent's side of the pitch he doesn't get as much defensive cover as Robbo gets defensive cover than his side of the pitch. And that's not me having a go at Salah because I don't really want Salah coming back and defending and sitting there. But sometimes I think it's up to Jurgen Klopp. And as the game was going on today, I was crying out, get Canate on. Get Canate on. Canate's a beast. Go free at the back. Just put Canate on. Go Canate, Matip and Van Dijk. Free at the back. Three sitting there. Go Trent and Robbo wing backs. And try something different because we was losing everything aerially and they were doubling up on Trent, even tripling up on Trent at times on the right hand side of the pitch. And Trent is, I feel sorry for him. That's fair, you don't get that cover. And Klopp sometimes exposes Trent and leaves him hanging out there to drive it sometimes with his defensive ability. And I don't think that's fair on the boy, but he doesn't help himself sometimes. Sometimes with Trent, he is quicker to move forward than he is to come back. And that shows sometimes. And I think he needs to learn on that. He needs to learn, but so does Liverpool, so does Jurgen Klopp. Don't expose Trent. Yes, his weakness is in defence, but we expose him too much sometimes because of that. And Brentford took advantage of that today. I think their second goal comes from there's 3 against him on the far post, and he's never going to win that battle. So for me, he should have brought Canate on, gone 3 at the back, and just shored it up. I know it's not the way Klopp likes to play, he wants to be front-footed football all the time, but sometimes, even with Brentford, you've just got to bite the bullet and go, they're a dangerous team and they're not going to stop till the whistle blows. So let's just shore it up. Let's go 3 at the back, 3 at the Roros wing backs if you have to, flat back 5, just see it out and get 3 points. So sometimes I think Klopp does have to take some blame for that. Robbo today, Robbo was sleeping a lot of this game defensively, and I don't know what's going on with Robbo's attacking quality, but he had a great 40-50 metre run earlier in the game, in the second half I think it was actually, and he had a great bursting run, got a free kick on the edge that Trent got over, but half they didn't offer us anything. And yeah, something's not quite right with Robbo at the moment. His crossing is just look up, head down, and then just hit the ball as hard as he can with his left foot at the moment. That's what it seems like. There's no disguise on the pass. You know what Robbo's going to do. If I was a fullback and Robbo's attacking me, I know what Robbo's going to do. You just know what he's going to do. He's going to look up once, put his head down, just belt it. And that's not what he used to do. He used to put a lot of disguises on his cross. He used to go to his right foot, back to his left, then cross it. Now it's just look up, look down, belt it in the box, and it's not working at the moment. And Tsimikas is in great form. Yeah, the argument is Tsimikas, Robbo's playing against everybody in Europe and in the league, and obviously Robbo's first choice, but Tsimikas is a bit in form, and I think it was a bit unfair for him to be dropped like that, and not. I just don't think that was right for him. I think Tsimikas would have offered much more going forward today, and we all say about Robbo's probably the better defender, but I think Tsimikas has been defending better in this season. That's the way I think. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like Tsimikas is crap left back. It's not like we say Robbo's crap right now. Just saying, get Tsimikas in, let him do his thing till he can't do it anymore. Then you just put Robbo back in. Simple as that. Sometimes I think Klopp's got his favourites, and when his favourites are fit, his favourites play. It's as simple as that, and that's one, say, disadvantage Klopp has over some people like Tuchel or Pep. They're a bit more ruthless, and not a big problem, but it could come back to haunt us if it's still things like that. But Robbo, yeah, I mean the defence was as shaky as a Michael J. Fox signature, weren't they? I mean it was terrible. Yeah, terrible today. Midfield had no midfield control. Had no midfield control today. Sloppy passes in midfield. Midfield today was a Thiago game. It's a shame because you do feel today's game was a Thiago game. Thiago knows how to slow a game down when it needs to be slowed down, and we don't do that. We go get the ball, go 100 miles an hour, and because of that we get sloppy sometimes. And Thiago goes, no, you know what guys, we're just going to slow this right down now. We're going to go my speed, all follow me. It'll work out in the end, and we missed that today. Fabinho, he got a good assist for Salah, but apart from that, I thought he was defensively frail again today. It's so unlike him. So I think Thiago was a big missing fag today, because Fabinho sitting there with Thiago would have slowed it right down. Fab would have got better positions defensively, and Hendo would have been the one bombing forward. But yeah, so Fab is poor today. Hendo, I thought Hendo played actually really well. He's probably the best out of the three midfielders. I thought Hendo was giving everything. It was like, no lad, it's not going to fly. You could tell he was knuckling down, trying to make things happen. It just didn't quite work out for us that way. Curtis Jones, I thought Curtis Jones, now, when Curtis Jones, you see some abuse about him online, especially on Twitter, Liverpool fans, well, Curtis Jones ain't all that, and we put too much faith on Curtis Jones, there's no proof he's actually good enough, and I think we all forget how good Curtis Jones is as a footballer, because yeah, Harvey Elliott came along and Harvey Elliott's blowing it up and he looks phenomenal. But I thought Curtis Jones did well today. He took his goal well and he really deserved that. Taking him off after he scored and couldn't even celebrate was taking the mick a bit. I don't understand that because I don't understand what Bobby gave us when he came on, to be absolutely fair. So it was a completely strange one, guys. Completely strange fuck off. Didn't understand that substitution at all. Now the front three. I thought Mane did well today. Looked like he had a bit of pace back in his game. But what worries me about Mane is his final ball and his decision making. He's just not up to scratch at the moment. His decision making is poor. But off the ball, he's defending well. From his position, he's defending well, like Mane used to do. And he got himself into good positions, but his decision making at the end of the day was poor. Jota. See, I said it before. Jota shouldn't play number 9, and he should be number 9. But I will say, when he's in the box, he picks up some fantastic positions. To be fair, he could have had an hat-trick today. His header he took was worldy. Then the shot that came back off the post from Curtis Jones, he should have scored. He should have scored. He sort of hit it back at the keeper, and I think that was more of an instinct thing than anything else. Because he just got his head down and smacked it, and he didn't really look. And then I think he had a chance that he miscontrolled it, came off his knee a little bit, ran off away from him, couldn't catch it. It was in the box for that. So he does pick up some amazing positions. Jota will score goals, will score a lot of goals, but you just know there's a tiny little bit there more that he's a little sloppy sometimes. Now, let's talk about the king. Mo Salah, 100 Liverpool goals, I think, 154 games. It's the quickest Liverpool player to ever score 100 goals. He's a winger. Now, I heard some discussions today on channels like the Terrace and that saying that he's actually a striker, he's not a winger. Completely wrong. A number 9, a striker, if you look at their heat map, the heat map would be a number 9 controls the whole width of the 18-yard box. That's where you want your main striker to be, covering the whole width of the 18-yard box and inside. Mo Salah, when you look at it, he's predominantly on the right-hand side of the pitch and he cuts in. But most of his positions he takes up constantly for a game on the right-hand side, not the left, not through the middle, always down the right-hand side. The man's a winger. People just got to get over it. The man's a winger and he's got over 100 goals for Liverpool. He's got 100 goals for Liverpool. It's just, he's a winger, guys. I know other rivals might not like it. The man's a winger, the man is class, the man is world class. Although he should have had 2 goals today, he tried to be too cocky of that second one. Sometimes it irritates me about Mo. Too laid back sometimes. Should have put that in. But you can't blame him for being free. It was 3-2 when he missed that chance. We should have seen that game anyway, so there's no blame on him. As I say, guys, defence was shaky today. Jurgen Klopp got a lot wrong tactically, substitution-wise. It weren't good from him today at all. Virgil weren't at his best. Worst game's probably played in a while, probably, but I don't think he was as bad as Matip. I think Matip was terrible. I don't think Virgil carried Matip a lot. The worst were the wing-back, the fullbacks. Fullbacks are awful today. Absolutely awful. They've got to wake up a bit. Especially Robbo. He's got proper competition there. If he don't wake up, he's going to be out. And Ali can't really put him in for any of the goals. But that's it, guys. Quick little video for me here, reaction to this game. But we're 6 games in. 6 games, guys. 6 games. That is all it is. 6 games. And we're top of the league by a point. We're the only team in the country not for a frost yet. So let's not get too bogged down and worried, guys. If you told me at the beginning of the season after just buying Canate and selling a few players and not replacing them, we'll still be top of this league by 1 point after 6 games. I'll pick your hand off. So let's not worry. We move, guys. Porto midweek, then nice easy game against Man City next weekend. Lovely. But as I say, guys, thanks for listening and please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon.